Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'll be reacting to my third and final scary storyteller channel, and it's Spooky Vibes. And the video that I'll be reacting to is 3 True Snapchat horror stories featuring dread memoirs. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
This story happened when I was in my late 20s. I used to live in a small Michigan town. At the time, I thought my life was simple. I had a 9 to 5, my own place, and a handful of close friends. I also had a boyfriend at the time, Roger. Our relationship was pretty normal for the most part. However, since Roger didn't have the best childhood, he wasn't always emotionally stable. He would have these outbursts of pure anger, call me names, and belittle me.
Okay, those are the type of people that you feel sorry for and might want to get them to go seek mental therapy. Because if they did not have the best childhood, they'll just lash it off on any normal person that they come in contact with. But it was their responsibility to go seek help instead of letting it continue to bother them. Let's just continue on with the story and see what happens next.
It got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And after a year of dating him, I just cut him off completely. I even ended up moving to a different part of town to put some distance between us. When I moved, I could feel my life becoming normal again. I was enjoying the little things in life. Then, one early morning in April, I woke up to a Snapchat notification on my phone. This was surprising to me because I hardly use Snapchat, and I only had a few friends. It was from an unknown account, simply named Random User 323. When I opened the snap, I remember all the blood draining from my face. It was from Roger. He was at a cafe that we used to go to when we were dating. The snap was a picture of my favorite coffee, with the message written, "Miss your morning coffees?" Unsettled that my ex was trying to contact me, I just blocked the account, dismissing it as him being a weirdo.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that you called it off with this guy and moved so he wouldn't try to find you. But that would really be disturbing if he contacted you on Snapchat with a random user account and took pictures of your favorite coffee saying, "Miss having your morning coffee meetups," basically. Block him, but then he'll find another way to try to contact you. He'll figure out where you live. At this point, I'll be contacting the police to get a restraining order put up against him.
Well, the next day, while I was at home and on my computer, I got another Snapchat notification. It was from a new account that I did not recognize by the name of Random User 024. I opened it and saw that it was a Snapchat of Roger standing outside my work. The message said, "Clocking in soon?" At this point, I strongly considered getting police involved, but I thought there probably wasn't anything they could do.
Oh, bull crap, there is something they could probably do. If you get the police involved, they could follow Roger to his place of residence and arrest him there. Because you keep blocking one and he's going to create another just to keep contacting you.
Since he technically wasn't breaking any laws. So I just ended up blocking the account. Then, late Friday night, as I was watching something on Netflix, I got a Snapchat. I opened it up and saw that it was a picture of my house from the outside in the dark. The message said, "What are you watching?" I looked up and outside my living room window and saw Roger standing right there. I cannot express to you the fear that was in me. I grabbed my phone and locked myself in the bathroom. I dialed 911 and waited for an officer to come out. When they did an initial sweep of my house, they did not find him. But get this, the officer decided to circle my neighborhood, and he found Roger sitting in a car all alone. the officer found a knife, crowbar, and duct tape in his car. He wasn't arrested, but the fact that an officer interjected, I think he got the point. I haven't seen Roger, nor have I received any of his creepy stalker Snapchats. I can't prove this either, but I feel like that Friday night, if I didn't call the police, I think he was going to harm me. I haven't been on Snapchat since.
Okay, that's a little creepy. I was wondering how in the world did he figure out where she lived at, unless he followed her after she left work and went home. Then he wanted to give her the message that he knows where you live at and he's standing right outside. But if he got in the house, he probably would have beat her up and wrapped her with duct tape and kidnapped her, probably, because she abandoned him. But since she called the cops and the cops found him in his car, must have gave him a little quick chat for him to never do this again, because if he did, he would get arrested for stalking and assault charges. Hence why he hasn't spoke to her anymore. But dadgummit, I wish they did arrest him and put him behind bars, because that's just messed up. But I'm glad that she has stopped using Snapchat and hasn't had no other encounter with this Roger fellow here. So let's get to story number 2.
I want to start off by saying that I am indeed an introvert and do not like to socialize with other people unless it's close friends or family. I used to work for this software engineering company out in northern Maine.
Okay.
While there were definitely cliques and packs at the office, I always just did my best to show up, get my work done, and leave with as little interaction with others as possible. However, there was this one coworker, Corey, who often frustrated me at the office with his pranks. He was the guy in the office who always pulled unsuspecting pranks on people and then filmed it on his phone for Snapchat. He was always in everybody's face, phone out, and ready to film your reaction. Yeah, it was hell, trust me. One morning, I'd come into work, only to find this rubber snake on my keyboard. I screamed and jumped back, only to find Corey hiding underneath my desk and filming my reaction. I freaked out on him right there on the spot. I told him that he was an immature prick and demanded him to stop these pranks.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't tolerate that either. Because if he keeps on doing pranks in the office, I would have been going straight to the boss and tell him what he's been doing and not working. He'll probably get mad at you for it, but hey, it was his dumb butt's fault to begin with. And I'll be telling him to delete that video or I'll break his phone.
I even reached out to HR, but unfortunately, the boss was out of town, and the filling representative brushed off my complaints as harmless fun. Believe me, I was furious.
Yeah, I would be too, because if you got like people running the HR department while the main boss is out, they should be taking it seriously, because if he comes back knowing that they brushed a simple thing like that off as just harmless fun and not nobody getting any work done, then he would definitely be firing and rehiring new personnel completely.
Well, one Friday evening, when the entire office had left for the weekend, I was still at the office, finishing up a project that I needed to get done. As I sat at my cubicle in the silent office, my phone pinged. I saw that it was a Snapchat notification from Corey. This had me curious, because Corey had left work early that Friday to go to a family party. I opened his Snap and watched a video of the dark hallway that led to our office. The glow of the exit sign eerily illuminated the scene. Then, the following snap came in of an empty, dimly lit cubicle with my name on it. I was utterly horrified as I stood up and scanned the empty office around me. I was supposed to be alone, but there I was getting snaps from Corey, who was supposed to be long gone at this family party. Then I got another ping. This time, it was a Snapchat of my coffee mug, close up, with the caption saying, "Working late?" Terrified of what Corey might do to me, I packed up my things and left the office and went home. When I got home, I made sure all my doors and windows were locked, in case Corey wanted to follow me and keep messing with me. And over the weekend, that's when I planned to go into my boss's office on Monday and demand Corey to stop, or else I would quit. Well, Monday morning came, and I was heading into my office when I saw police cars all over the place. I was told by a coworker that Corey was reported missing that Sunday. It turns out he never made it to his family party on Friday. Security footage showed he left the office way before I did, and a location tag snap he took showcased a bar he was at over 10 miles away at the same time I was receiving snaps from him at the office. It hurts me to say this, but Corey is still missing, and the source of those Snapchats is still a mystery. I quit that job shortly after for a better one out in Ohio. Not only was I known as the introvert at the office, but I was also the unwilling protagonist in the disappearance of Corey. Even though he was annoying, I hope they do find him. God only knows where he is.
Okay, that's one big switcheroo because I was just thinking that the cop car showed up because they found Corey was into some illegal stuff. But nope, he's missing. And the last picture he took was over at some bar. So I guarantee you that he got so drunk and wandered out of the bar and just disappeared, or someone kidnapped him. And they started using their phone to taunt this co-worker of his. If you guys have any other theories about this story, leave them down in the comments because I'm kind of mind-boggled right here. But yes, I hope he does get found, even though he was annoying. Sounded like that's very creepy.
My name is Lola, and I am a 23-year-old female. Last Halloween, I decided I wanted to throw a spooky party.
Okay.
I invited everyone I knew, including coworkers and family, over to my place. And for context, I was living in my twin home in the suburbs of Pennsylvania. At 7 p.m. sharp, all my guests started to arrive, and I gotta say, all of my friends were creative with their costumes. The party started to pick up. The music was blaring, people were drinking and eating, and that's when I got a Snapchat. I opened my phone and saw I had received a snap from a user called We See You Lola. I'll be honest, my first reaction was that this was one of my friends adding to the spooky vibe of the party. I opened the snap and saw a blurry photo of the party in my house. Again, I just figured it was one of my guests who snapped me this, and I replied back, "Nice stalking skills." But then, things started to get really eerie. I got another snap, this time closer, of me talking to a group of my friends. It was as if whoever took the snap was only mere feet behind me.
Okie dokie, that would be creepy. You're having a Halloween party at your place and then someone took a picture of you and sent it to your Snapchat without you even knowing that they were right behind you.
I typed back to the person, "Who are you?" I didn't get a response. As the night went on, I got more tipsy and more involved with everyone at the party. I was talking with some friends in my kitchen who were doing a Ouija board when I got another buzz on my phone. It was a snap from We See You Lola, and that snap was of me again. But the picture was so close to my right arm, you could actually see the goosebumps on me. The caption on the photo said, "Are you nervous, Lola?" At this point, I wanted to figure out who here at the party was sending me these snaps. I started going around to each and every person and asking to see their Snapchats. None of them had sent me anything. In the midst of my confusion, I got another snap. This time, it was a dark, grainy picture of a bedroom upstairs. With a couple of friends by my side, we all ran upstairs to the room to try and catch whoever was doing this. To my horror, we found my bedroom ransacked. and my window was wide open, letting in the cold air of the night. My heart pounded as I saw muddy footprints all on my carpet. At that point, I had no choice but to get police involved. And get this, they actually took it pretty seriously. After an extensive investigation, the police discovered that the Snapchat account, We See You Lola, was traced back to a masked IP address. But despite their best efforts, they never actually caught who was behind this. My MacBook, AirPods, and TV were all stolen from me that Halloween night. I now live with my boyfriend in our own place, and so far, no weird or creepy Snapchats have been sent to me. But it is truly disturbing the lengths people will go to cause harm to others. I try to stay far away from social media as possible, especially Snapchat.
Okay, that's very disturbing. To think that someone snuck into your house, send you photos to taunt you, and then they took a picture of somewhere upstairs, and when you go up there, the window's wide open, and your TV, MacBook, and AirPods are gone. And I could not believe that the police found out that the IP address was just a masked covering. And I don't think they were going to find those items. He's probably already sold them off. But I cannot believe that this person would do that on Halloween night when there's a bunch of people there in the house. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more spooky vibes related content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day.